So a month or so back, whenever I was at my sales job, this is my last day in my sales job. And I say to one of my mentors, Danny, it's so easy to be successful here because I'm surrounded by like-minded people. I'm surrounded by these people who are on their shit every day, who are getting things done, who already have these success mindsets. We're in workshops every day where we're talking about how to be successful in our day-to-day lives. How am I going to continue to be successful whenever I don't have that atmosphere, when I'm not surrounded by these people who are amazing to be around? Whenever it's just me in my room focusing on my craft, how am I going to continue to be motivated, continue to be successful? And he gave me one of the best pieces of advices. Wow. He gave me one of the best pieces of advice that I've gotten from a mentor, which is you have to continue stacking your small wins. Luke, whenever you are in a situation wherever people don't believe in you, wherever people aren't supportive and you don't have that kind of environment, you have to look at the small wins and you have to keep stacking them because that's going to keep you motivated. So I started applying this into what I was actually doing in my day-to-day. The first thing I figured out is you have to set and write down your benchmarks. So have actual numeric trackable goals that you write down, because writing down a goal makes you 42% more likely to actually achieve it, which is a bonkers statistic. Literally write down your goals, because 42% is nothing to sneeze at. You have no reason not to write that shit down. Write down your goals. Set actual benchmarks along the way for your smaller goals. Another thing, what can be measured can be improved. So if you're going to the gym and you aren't seeing progress week over week, like if you aren't progressively overloading and lifting more this week than you did last week, if you aren't measuring your weight, if you aren't measuring what weights you're actually using, if you aren't measuring how much you're eating, how are you going to know where you're messing up? How are you going to know what to improve? You don't. You have to actually measure the things that you were trying to improve so you can figure out, man, this is where I need to focus my efforts. This is where I need to actually work on. So firstly, write down your goals. 2, track them. Thirdly, keep stacking your small wins. So like Danny was saying, whenever you are on something that's a bit more ambiguous, you have to make sure that you're tracking the smaller stuff, because success can come a lot slower than you initially think it will. And whether that's the case or whether you're freaking blowing up day one, you have to continue to track these small wins, because this is going to keep you motivated. This is going to keep you in the loop of knowing, 1, I'm on the right track. 2, I'm seeing progress even in the small stuff. Because people who aren't tracking this they're going to get unmotivated. They're going to stop keeping on their good shit because they're not going to be seeing progress. But you're not like that, because you're going to be tracking your small goals. You're going to be tracking and keeping up with the small wins that you're making, which means, 1, you don't rely on motivation anyway, because action creates motivation. You know the circle, I've talked about this before. But on top of that, you are also going to be motivated anyway, because you're seeing the progress in the small wins that you keep stacking up, and you're going to start feeling good because you keep stacking the small stuff. That's going to lead to the huge stuff over time. Like if this video has helped you. Subscribe if you've been lurking here. Act now and become unstoppable.